Hello, the students of higher secondary second year. Myself Aurobindo Karikatari, Department of Economics, SS College, Hailakandi, Assam, India. Today is the first class on Introductory Macroeconomics, Group B of Economics. Today we are discussing unit number 1, that is introduction. Meaning of macroeconomics. There are two approaches to the study of economics: microeconomics and macroeconomics. Professor Ragnar Frisch of Oslo University first coined the terms microeconomics and macroeconomics in the year 1933. These two terms, that is the microeconomics and macroeconomics, have been derived from two Greek words, micros meaning small and macros meaning large. Microeconomics thus means the study of small or individual unit, and macroeconomics means the study of large or whole of the economy. In other words, microeconomics is that branch of economics which studies economic problems at the level of an individual. Macroeconomics is that branch of economics which studies economic problems related to economy as a whole. Definitions of macroeconomics. According to Gardiner Acklem, macroeconomics studies the relationships and interactions between the factors and forces that determine the level and growth of output and employment. According to K. Boulding, macroeconomics deals not with the individual quantities as such, but with aggregates of these quantities, not with individual income, but with the national income. According to P. A. Samuelson, macroeconomics is the study of the behavior and performance of the economy as a whole. It examines the overall levels of nation's output, employment, price and foreign trade. In the light of the above definitions, macroeconomics may be defined as that branch of analysis which studies the behavior of not one particular unit, but of all the units combined together. It is a study in aggregate, hence it is called aggregative economics. It is also called income theory. Macroeconomic variables. Macroeconomic variables are those economic variables which are studied at the level of economy as a whole. For example, national income, general price level, aggregate demand, aggregate supply, etc. Economic agents. Economic agents are the individuals or institutions who take economic decisions. For example, consumers decide how much to buy of different goods and services. Producers decide how much to produce of different goods and services, and the government decides about the overall allocation or reallocation of the resources with a view to ensuring growth with stability and equality. Nature of macroeconomics. Nature of macroeconomy means how macroeconomic behaves. Let us explain the nature of macroeconomics. Number 1. Macroeconomics studies economic phenomena in large. The nature of macroeconomics is to study the behavior of not one particular unit, but all the units combined together, that is the whole economy. Number 2. It studies the interdependence of variable, which means one variable is dependent on another. According to Gardiner-Ackley, macroeconomic studies the relationship and interaction between the factors and forces that determine the level of growth of output and employment, etc. More importantly, it studies economic phenomena with special reference to their interdependence. Number 3. It studies the economic variables in aggregative form. Macroeconomics deals with the great averages and aggregates of the economic system as a whole, rather than with particular unit in it. So, it is also called the aggregative economics. Number 4. It studies general equilibrium. Macroeconomics is the study of general equilibrium analysis. It uses the techniques of general equilibrium analysis rather than a partial equilibrium analysis while studying the aggregate. So in microeconomics, it deals with the technique of the partial equilibrium analysis, but in macroeconomics, we deal with the technique of general equilibrium analysis. Thus, the nature of macroeconomics is to explain what determines the level of national income, output and employment. Further, it explains the growth of national income over a long period of time as well as the fluctuations in the overall economic activity. Our next topic is scope of macroeconomics. Scope means the areas of study under macroeconomics. Each areas of studies are: number 1, economic growth theory. Macroeconomic studies problems of economic growth like increase in per capita income, monetary and fiscal policies of government, and economic growth of underdeveloped economies. Number 2, general price level theory. Macroeconomic studies problems relating to inflation, deflation, determination of prices, etc. Number 3, the scope of macroeconomics is theory of international trade. It studies trade among different countries. It also studies tariff policy and various problems related with international trade. Number 4, theory of money. Macroeconomic studies functions of money because money has great effect on employment. Number 5, theory of employment. Macroeconomic studies problems related to employment and unemployment. It also studies factors affecting employment, for example, aggregate demand and supply, aggregate consumption and aggregate investment. Number 6, theory of international national income. Macroeconomics studies the meaning of national income, its components and measurement of national income. Next topics for discussion is importance of macroeconomics. The theoretical and practical importance of macroeconomics are: number 1, macroeconomics gives knowledge about the working of the whole economic system. Number 2, the study of macroeconomics helps in the formulation of economic policies of the economy. Number 3, it helps us to achieve the goal of economic growth, higher level of GDP and higher level of employment. Number 4, detailed knowledge is provided on fluctuation in general price level and suggests measures to bring stability in price level. Number 5, it gives us knowledge about the causes of business cycles. Business cycle means ups and downs in business and suggests remedial measures. That is how to overcome the business cycle. Our next topic is distinction between microeconomics and macroeconomics. Number 1, microeconomics studies economic problems at individual level. For example, individual farm, individual household. Macroeconomics studies economic problems of the economy as a whole. For example, unemployment of the economy. Number 2, microeconomics is concerned with determination of output and price for an individual farm or industry. On the other hand, macroeconomics is concerned with determination of aggregate output and general price level in the economy as a whole. Number 3, market mechanism plays an important role in the context of microeconomic problems. For example, problem of product pricing. On the other hand, government plays an important role in the context of macroeconomic problems like the problems of unemployment, poverty and inflation. So in order to solve the problems of unemployment, poverty and inflation, the government has to play an important role in this regard. Number 4, price determination is the central issue in microeconomics. But determination of the overall level of output and employment is the main issue in macroeconomics. Number 5, the method of study of microeconomics is called partial equilibrium analysis, which refers to equilibrium in one market. For example, commodity market, assuming that there is no change in other market, for example, capital market. On the other hand, the method of study in macroeconomics is called general equilibrium analysis, which refers to simultaneous equilibrium in all the markets in the economy. So, this method of study of microeconomics is called partial equilibrium analysis. On the other hand, the method of study in macroeconomics is called general equilibrium analysis. In partial equilibrium analysis, we deal with one market, other market assuming constant. But in general equilibrium analysis, we deal with the simultaneous equilibrium in all the markets in the economy. Thank you all.